Or are you the Matrix playing more games with me?
Don't ask me. I'm as lost as you are in here. Maybe you just summoned me.
Where do you fit into all this? Were you me all that time ago? Were all my memories of you erased? Did they force me back into becoming a child? How many more of me are out there?
Complicated.
I don't have those answers.
I think I might actually have the answer, although it is complicated.
Very complicated.
So, William Hartnell is the first Doctor, right? Except he's not. Because before him was the Fugitive Doctor, and then presumably before her were the Timeless Children, and somewhere in between them were the Morbius Doctors. And let me explain who all of these Doctors are. William Hartnell was the very first actor to play the Doctor from 1963 to 1966.
Close the door, Susan. I believe these people are known to you.
They're two of my school teachers. What are you doing here?
Where are we?
They must have followed you. That ridiculous school. I knew something like this would happen if we stayed in one place too long.
Fugitive Doctor is played by Jo Martin. She lived on Earth and used a chameleon arch to rewrite her DNA, turning herself human and calling herself Ruth while she was a fugitive of the Judoon. The Timeless Child is the little girl who was adopted by Tecteun. Tecteun is a Shobogan, the indigenous species of Gallifrey. The Timeless Child is the first person ever to regenerate, and the Master claims that the child is the Doctor.
Are you suffering comfortably? Then I'll begin. Once upon a time. No. Once upon several times. Before the Time Lords. Before everything we know. There was an explorer. Her name was Tecteun. From a little regarded, sparsely populated planet called Gallifrey. Tecteun was the first of Gallifrey's indigenous race, the Shobogans, to develop space travel. Dangerous, unsophisticated space travel. She took risks to explore the worlds and galaxies beyond her home. And it was on one of these distant, deserted worlds on the far edge of another galaxy she found something impossible. A gateway. A boundary into another unknown dimension or universe. Tecteun glimpsed the infinite through that gateway. And beneath the monument she found a child. Abandoned. Alone. The child remained a mystery. Until, playing with a friend like any other child, there was an accident. A catastrophe. The Tecteun, for the child she'd saved, now lost to her. Or so she thought. Child regenerated. The first regeneration of any person on the planet of Gallifrey. Now, having seen her adopted child regenerate her body, Tecteun, a scientist and explorer, had a new landscape to explore. She dedicated her life to studying her child. Detailed every fragment of genetic material. It took her years. Several of the child's regenerations.
The Morbius Doctors is the name given to the men who appeared on the screen of the mind-bending apparatus in the 1976 episode The Brain of Morbius. 7 timeless children plus 8 Morbius Doctors plus 1 fugitive doctor equals 16 pre-Hartnell Doctors.
What? What?
Now we're on to who we've always known as the First Doctor. We will always know him as the First Doctor, even though he is technically the 17th. Now, as I mentioned before, William Hartnell is the First Doctor. However, he passed away in 1975. 1983 was the 20th anniversary of the show, which was celebrated with a special episode called The Five Doctors. Now, even though Hartnell was gone, the BBC obviously wanted to bring back the First Doctor, so they decided to cast Richard Handel. Now, the question is, does Handel count as another Doctor? I say he does not. He is also the First Doctor, not a new one, so he is the first of our Doctors who don't count. 2013 was the 50th anniversary, so of course the BBC wanted to bring back the First Doctor for something, even if he's not in the special episode.
I started a very long time ago.
Calling the War Council of Gallifrey. This is the Doctor.
An Adventure in Space and Time is a documentary about how the show was created and what happened behind the scenes of its first series. Richard Handel passed away in 1984, so a new actor was required to play Hartnell in the documentary. David Bradley was the chosen one. He returned in 2017 to play the First Doctor in Twice Upon a Time, and again in 2022 to play the manifestation of the Doctor's consciousness in The Power of the Doctor. Of course, since David Bradley is also the First Doctor, he doesn't count either. In a 1965 story, The Chase, Daleks created a robot duplicate of the Doctor, who is played by Edmund Warwick.
Your orders are understood. You will infiltrate and kill. Infiltrate and kill.
Understand? Of course I understand, my dear fellow. Don't fuss so. I am to infiltrate and kill. Infiltrate and kill.
Does the robot Doctor count as the Doctor? No, it's a robot. I'm only counting the ones that actually are the Doctor, which robots are not. In 1965, a Hollywood movie was released. It was called Doctor Who and the Daleks, and it was based on the show's second story, The Daleks. It had a sequel in 1966 called Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD, which was based on the Dalek Invasion of Earth. Both films starred Peter Cushing as Doctor Who. Doctor Who is a human who invented TARDIS.
There. My latest invention. What, a police box?
Of course not.
This is TARDIS.
TARDIS?
It stands for Time and Relative Dimension in Space.
Oh.
The Doctor is a Time Lord who stole the TARDIS. Doctor Who is not the Doctor, so Peter Cushing also doesn't count. In 1966, William Hartnell was suffering from health problems, so he decided to leave Doctor Who. Producer John Wiles came up with the idea of recasting the main character and somehow building it into the plot. And it was script editor Jerry Davis who came up with the concept of a regeneration. Hartnell said there is only one man in England who can take over, and his name is Patrick Troughton.